Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Bauer with Sustainable City. We are here at the Pnyx Village doing a whiteboard session. Our guest here today is Benjamin with New World Together. We're going to be talking about sustainable solutions on how to change the paradigm. So Benjamin, tell us about what you do.
What we're doing basically, we're helping people in order by raising the level of awareness and understanding of the deep roots of our unsustainability so that people can take the right actions.
Alright, so if we raise the awareness and the understanding, I'm a man of action. I like to make sure that we're focused on solutions. Like, how are we making sure that we're doing the right actions?
But that's the deep, again, it's back to targeting the roots. What we see today, and this is why we are doing this job, is that there is a lot of people who understand the environmental urgency and who are taking actions. But what we observe is that mainly they are focusing on the symptom of the problem and not of the roots. Let me explain you that.
Okay.
For example, we see a lot in Bali particularly, plastic pollution. So everybody is talking about plastic pollution. There's a lot of big cleaning, etc., which is being made. But the roots is not being targeted. Actually, because we see more and more plastic is being produced, only a minority is being recycled. And what we want to highlight, the fact that we want to highlight as well, is that plastic should be seen as a symptom among other more systemic problems. Plastic is not the only environmental problem. We have the overconsumption of our resources, which result in the destruction of our ecosystems, as well as in the sixth mass extinction, basically the destruction of wildlife. Yeah, or global warming and plenty of other symptoms. So finally, what we see is that by not focusing on the roots, we are not really addressing the issue, and we are not really allowing ourselves the potential to find a proper solution. Why am I saying that as well? Let me go a little bit deeper in detail. Is that our ecological issues are not the only issues we are facing today in the world. We also are facing social issues, mainly inequalities, sheer poverty, and the resulting tensions that come out of it. But not only we are facing social issues, we are also facing financial issues because we are raising a huge global debt. So what does that mean? Is that in order to fix our social and financial issues, we need economic growth. But we are in a materialist and consumerist paradigm. So all this is why the economic growth has an ecological impact. So today what's happening is that we have most scientists today who are working on this issue are saying that we need to slow down in order to solve our ecological problems. But all economists are saying we need to speed up in order to solve our social and financial problems. Thus there's a big discrepancy between the need of our economy and the need of our ecology, which by all observation seems incompatible. And this problem until now is not being discussed and is not being addressed. The good news that we see is that if we look at our ecological, social and financial problems, they share a common roots. So our idea is to help people to raise their level of awareness and understanding so that the actions that they are taking are not only treating the symptoms, but also the roots of the problem.
I totally agree. We need to figure out some kind of balance, right?
Exactly, exactly. And we need to find a system that makes sense. If we have a conflict between our economy and our ecology, then we have a system that does not make sense. What we are left with today is either using this system, having to face a huge social issues, because we have to decrease the economy in order to take care of the ecology, or a civilization collapse, because we are destroying the ecosystems that we need for our survival, and that basically our economy needs as well. So we are stuck. And right now, the priority is being given to the economy, which is a little bit crazy, because the economy is based on the ecology. If there is no ecology, there is no economy.
And so with understanding a lot of these core problems and the awareness and having a better understanding of this, what can we do as an individual level? Or
this is very important question, and thanks for asking. What we see today is that related to the systemic problems is still a taboo. We are not discussing it. So even when we come to make actions as group, again, we are mostly targeting the symptom and not the roots of the problem. The reason why is because we are missing awareness and understanding about the situation. And we are missing awareness and understanding of the situation because there is a lot of taboo. We do not allow ourselves to question the system because we feel that we are depending on it. So as individuals, the first thing that we need to do is to be able to question the system and to raise our level of awareness and understanding about this big issue. Having a holistic approach and not a specific approach, not treating problems separately, but understanding that we will not be able to face the social issues without facing the
Yeah,
we will not be able to fix our ecological problem without fixing our social and financial problems.
Yeah.
So we need to have a systemic approach. There's no other solution to this.
Yeah,
so
but see, I'm an individual, and there's only so much that I can personally do.
Yeah.
And then I can recycle. I can plant some trees. I can. There's a lot of things that I can do, and I'm very passionate with this. But like, how do we go? How do we change the system?
Basically, this is where we have to raise, as individuals, the level of awareness and understanding enough so that collectively we are able to challenge the system that is in place. And this has to come from the collective level. So what we see today is, of course, because the system loves to maintain itself, the system has been encouraging us to take individual responsibilities. It says basically, well, we just respond to customer needs. So we have to challenge this vision and start to understand that we need to move collectively, and we need to collectively challenge this system of ours so that we can transform it. And that comes from a position of awareness and understanding, and a common vision that it is today in our interest to take care of our ecological issues. Because again, if we don't take care of our ecological issues, we are not taking care of ourselves and our future.
Well, this kind of brings me to, we've been running a lot of different style workshops with permaculture and sustainability, and I have only got so much knowledge base, and the same thing with a lot of other advocates in sustainability, right? But one of the most powerful things that I've really came across is when we brought everybody together as a community, as a collective. This guy has a different skill set, this person has a different skill set, and with all these different types of skill sets and knowledge bases, wow, it was super powerful on that. And by creating that collective and having all these different knowledge bases, we're able to create these other different types of communication that can channel up to the system, ultimately changing the system.
Yes, exactly. And thanks for saying that. What we have to recognize is that as individuals, we are all part of the solution, and we all bring something different. So we have to look at complementarities between what we know, what are our expertise, and instead of looking at competition to find a dominant model. So it's really about coming together and looking at synergies and complementarities between our different skills, experience, etc. So that's also is a completely different way of seeing things, because today, until now, what we've seen is dominant models who are imposing their views on others. But what we have to look at now is that every view is complementary.
Yeah.
And that when we come together for a common cause and for a common interest, which in our case is our planet, because we need it for our survival, then we can really do miracles.
Okay, so I think based off this model right here, I think what we can challenge ourselves and for the audience and the rest of the world, as we're all part of this same creating these solutions, but we're also faced with these same problems.
Yes.
Is that on an individual basis, I think we need to uprise from individuals and then joining these collectives. So
yes.
Finding like-minded people, people that are wanting, advocates are wanting to make the change. Well, again, if we can start forming together, then we can ultimately change it. So I think what we can challenge our audiences is to get up and take action by formulating collectives. And with these collectives, when we start forming together in the masses,
exactly,
we can change the entire paradigm. Right?
We can change the entire paradigm. It's really to recognize that if you are someone who's fighting against poverty, if you are someone who's fighting for the protection of the environment, it's one same fight. Yeah. So do not see it as a competition. It's the same battle. Yeah. Because as long as we are struggling here, as long as we are maintained with poverty and inequalities, we are maintained in competition for accumulation of resources, which is what is leading to the ecological problem. So we really have to see that systematically.